fresh new svarim, fresh off the mint. Special thing in Mitzvah Hashem for the next few weeks, and the weeks of Shovim V'Tach, Mois V'Eira B'Ei V'Shalach Yirsa Mishpatim Trumat Tetzava. That we'll do a special thing, a review of the Hilchos Niddah. As an introduction to Hilchos Niddah, not in general for Hilchos Niddah, as an introduction for the chapter we're going to learn this week, next week. Let's look at a Tona Devei Eliyahu. Yeah. Okay. So there is a story the Gemara says in Ksubis. I'm just giving you a general thing. We're learning who is Eliyahu Rabbi. The big Eliyahu, there's Eliyahu Zuta, the small Eliyahu. Who's the big Eliyahu? Who's the small Eliyahu? The Gemara says a story about Rabbanon. The Rabbanon, there was once a person that came to do a din Torah, and he brought him a whole bunch of little fish. So, a box of sardines he brought him. So Rabbanon said, "Excuse me, sir, we can't do this. This is not the way we do business. This is shoichat. You're giving me sardines, and I'm going to be your dime?" He said, "I'm puzzled." So the person said, "Please take the sardines, like bikurim, giving a gift to Talmid Chacham, giving bikurim." He said, "Okay, you know what? I'll take the sardines, but I can't do the din Torah." But you know what? He said, "I'll send a letter to Reb Nachman. You do the din Torah by Reb Nachman." So when he came to Reb Nachman, there was a line. Nachman was one of the big dayonim. The Reish Galusa appointed him as a dayan. His father-in-law, the Reish Galusa, was a wealthy man, a powerful man. He appointed his son-in-law to be the dayan. So there was lines and lines of people. But here he comes with a letter from Rabbanon. Oh, you get in front of the line. He says, Rabbanon sent. So he stopped the line, skipped the line. Take this din Torah. There was a din Torah from Yisayim right in front of him. But because he got this thing, the Kovet HaMid Chachamim, Rabbanon sent, it must be his cousin or maybe his nephew. Okay, skip the line. And the Baal Din saw this. This guy has protection by Reb Nachman. Okay, he was stunned. Protection. He was stunned. Nistat Motainosav. He had tainas. He had arguments, but he was like, he didn't realize he started up with the wrong guy. So, because he was stunned and he couldn't explain his tainas, he stammered. He had nothing to say. The other guy had arguments, and he won. Then Torah. That was it to Reb Nachman. Now that it came back to Reb Onon, the Eliyahu Hanavi stopped visiting him. Eliyahu Hanavi used to come to him all the time and learn with him. Now Eliyahu Hanavi stopped, so he fasted and he cried until Eliyahu Hanavi came back. But now, whenever Eliyahu Hanavi would come, he would be in such fear, he would tremble. He couldn't take it anymore. So he built himself a box. And when Eliyahu Hanavi would come, he'd climb into the box. And he would learn with Eliyahu Hanavi, but not face to face. The Gemara says that Hainu, the Tona Devei Eliyahu Rabbi, the Tona Devei Eliyahu Zuta. The Tona Devei Eliyahu, there's two parts to it. There's Tona Devei Eliyahu. What does it say? Originally, he was thinking out of the box. But now, because of the pachad that he had from Eliyahu Hanavi, he started to think in the box.
Cut out a paper bag and make a hole.
Mekan, maybe there is this thing about thinking in the box or out of the box.
Yeah.
But in a smaller bezer, when he fell because of the chait of the shoichat, now he can only learn in the box. But otherwise, he can learn out of the box. Oh, so you see, Araya, Haina the Amri Inchi, thinking in the box or out of the box.
So what the Deve? Tana the Deve?
Deve, the yeshiva of Eliyahu. There's a lot of other discussion about maybe there was a yeshiva. So, one of the opinions is that the Tana Devei Eliyahu means the yeshiva of Reb Onon. Because Reb Onon learned with Eliyahu, Tana Devei Eliyahu, because in his yeshiva, Eliyahu used to come all the time. He was a regular. So it was called Tana, just like Tana Devei Rabbi Yishmael. It doesn't mean everything he said. It means the members that were learned in his yeshiva. Tona Devei Eliyahu is really Reb Onon's yeshiva. But because Eliyahu Hanavi used to hang out there a lot, so they called it Tvona Dvei Eliyahu.
How many Rabbanim has the zchut to see Eliyahu Hanavi learning with them? Not so many.
Shabbos, I told over a Moide Marom Dika story, a letter that they found in the Geniza Cherson, a letter that the Maggid of Mezritch wrote to the son of Avram the Malach. He said that my Rebbe, the Baal Shem Tov, revealed himself to me in a dream, and he told me that there is a vine in your vineyard that hadn't been planted in Klal Yisrael for hundreds of years, and you should be very careful with it. So the Maggid said to his Rebbe, who? So he said, Shnei Zalman. That's a neshama that hundreds of years there wasn't such a thing in the soil. And he said that he meets with Eliyahu Hanavi face to face, not only in the dream. He meets with him face to face. And the Maggid said he had a charoda gedola. Number one, he never knew about it. Number two, he knew already from 40 years. He knew already in this world 40 years no one met Eliyahu Hanavi face to face. So it was by him a very big thing. And he writes to his son that you should know that Ashrei Chelki v'Ashrei Chelkecha, that he's my Talmud, and I picked him to be your brother, because the Maggid paired him together with his son. They should learn together, and you should be careful. You should never tell. The Shnei Zalman, the Alter Rebbe. You should never tell him what I'm telling you. I'll call upon him back to Reb Onon. This is the Sefer called Eliyahu Rabbah. So we're going to learn the first, in this book there's several chapters, and to Mitzvah Shem, the next few weeks we're going to focus on the Hachokis, which is a very basic thing. The halachas is if it's relevant to a person or not. We're learning, but befrat, for those that are relevant, it's important to review the halachas. Years go by, and Vakaponim, it's for sure the mitzvah of Talmud Torah.
It's not women that are supposed to learn this very...
No, the man has to learn this more than the woman, this simon. The man has to learn it, because we're going to learn soon that the Mishnah says, Kayoitza bar lo yoichel hazav im hazava. He is not allowed to eat with her. She can eat with him. He can't eat her food. She can eat his food. Because the man, we're choshid, if we're going to start getting very chummy, that then they're going to come to a Dvar Aveda. But a woman, we're not choshid. We're not choshid. A woman.
They don't trust us.
The men we don't trust. The women are trusted.
That's reason for Mechita too, by the way.
Yeah.
So
woman doesn't look.
No, you can't trust the man more than...
That I don't know. But here it's the Fedish, it says that the Rishonim say, Lo yoichel azov im azov neher galaveda. Aval azov, no problem. No problem. The Zav was scared that one thing is going to lead to the next. A woman, we're not choshid, and one thing is going to lead. So for sure, the men has to learn more than the women. Coming to looking at the vestois, that's maybe a person say he'll rely on his wife. The thing is that sometimes women get mixed up. They learned from the Kala teacher 10 years ago, and now they're mixed up. It's very complicated. So she comes to her husband.
You get questions for women?
Yeah. A few times a woman with the computer, now Baruch Hashem, a lot of women, but there's more than twice, but two women, each one of them twice, that they put all the dates in the computer. I still can't figure out exactly how it happened. But both from different systems. One I was able to help because she works with Chabad system. The other one was not the Chabad system. So it was harder to figure out. I couldn't figure out what's going on. But both of them got messed up with the computer system. So, but that a klal, today the women that have the apps with the systems is beside it. So they figure out already all the oinus, and when the oinus are on, but they have to put in all the information. As soon as a woman misses out one piece of information, the computer can't do anything for you. The computer can't is not going to say, "Hey, excuse me, hello, you hadn't put in the last oina. What's going on? We're not hearing from you."
What if she gets pregnant also?
Yeah. So Bama says it's important to learn all the halachas, but we're starting today with the inyan of hachokas. In other words, when she's already at Niddah, the hachoka. There's a few important introductions I wanted to give, but instead of giving them as introductions and halting cup, let's dive straight into the Elio. It's a moide maramdik story, a story that's told at length in the Elio Rabba and it's short in the Gemara. We'll learn the Elio Rabba, we'll learn the Gemara, and then we'll learn the two Tosfosim, and the Mitzvah Shem will take it from there. Look at the Elio Rabba. Ma'isa b'yodam echa, the story with one person. Shekora harbe v'shana harbe v'shimish tamid chachamim harbe. He was a Talmid Chacham, he learned a lot. V'nichnas l'vei salomo, and he passed away. B'chatzi yom of half his age. In other words, a regular person would live would live 120 years, he lived 60, or a regular person would live 80 years, he lived 40 years. V'nasas ishtoi kishoite, his wife went crazy. She went crazy. She was really upset. She would go to all the doors and all the homes of her husband's friends. He learned Mikra and he learned Torah Shabbat Peh, and he also was Meshamash Tamid Chachamim to learn how to paskin. Why did he die? No one could answer. This is either the Onon is speaking or Elionavi is speaking.
One of them.
I went into her courtyard. She sat down in front of me. She was crying. I said, my daughter, why are you crying? Amrali, she said, Rabbi, balakora harbe, vishona harbe, vishimish tamid chachamim harbe. It's not fear. How could God do this? Amarti lo biti b'shos nedusech mau etzlich. So I said to her, my daughter, when you were Niddah, how did he treat you? Amar li Rabbi, chaz v'sholom afila be'etzba ktana loy nogabi. Didn't touch me with a finger. V'ache kol oisna yom sh'ri'isa b'hem dan yeshavta shiva nekim sh'lavel d'ei sofik. And all those days after I saw the blood, I sat full 7 nekim. There shouldn't be any suffix. Mother, she was bragging that she did a hiddur mitzvah, that she sat shiva nekim. Why is that bragging? What's what? Every bar berav de chadyoyma knows that you have to wait shiva nekim. What was she bragging about? She said, "Yeshavti shiva nekim shelo yovel l'dei sofik." I shouldn't come to a sofik. No, sofik. So that's sofik. The Torah says, "Vacha sofer lot." She has to have shiva nekim. What is she saying? Oh, so the thing is like this. There's two types of blood, two types of discharges a woman can have. One is called eis nidosa, and one is below eis nidosa. The Torah says there's eis nidosa and below eis nidosa. Eis nidosa is the regular dam the woman has, the regular cycle. And over there, the Torah didn't say you have to have shiva nekim. From when she starts seeing the blood, she has to wait 7 days, and then she goes to the mikveh. Then there is below eis nidosa, not the regular time. And over there, the Torah said that there's two different rules. There's a Zavak Tana and a Zavak Gedoyla. Zavak Tana, she's a drop of blood. She sees it tomorrow. If it's a clean day. In other words, if she already sees 3 days, she goes to Zavak Gedoyla. And now, when she's a Zavak Gedoyla, she has to do Shiva Nekim. Shiva Nekim is not a usual thing. The average woman that sees blood for 3 days, probably a Niddah, right? I mean, think about this. That's probably she's a Niddah. The eis nidasa means her period is coming. Period is coming is a Niddah. I'm not talking the shittas now. There's a lot of shittas in the Shonim that Rambam holds that the 7-Eleven is a Jewish company and every Jewish woman is 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven, her whole life is 7-Eleven. Other Shonim holds not 7-Eleven. Yes, 7-Eleven. I'm just talking balabatish, and it's also true lomdish. If a woman has a period, that's called nidus, eis nidasa. That's when her body builds up, and then flushes out after le'erech a month, and then avaita amol. The Torah said that then you don't wait Shiva Nekim, You count 7 days, and when she finishes, she goes to the mikveh. The Torah also said, "Below eis nedosa." An unusual thing happened. An unusual thing happened. She started to bleed. Below es nedosa, and it wasn't from a makkah, because we'll learn about that separately. And she saw 3 days. You know what kind of unusual thing that is? You know what kind of unusual thing that is? Elamai, and that's when you have to wait Shiva Nakim. Elamai, Chazal said, because it was getting very complicated, Amaisa with 7-Eleven, Nit 7-Eleven, yet 7-Eleven, it got very complicated. So, B'nai Yisrael were machmer, and the Chazal accepted the Chumrah, the Afila Roya Tifas Dam Kachardel, Yoshun Allah, Shiva Nakim. So now you understand why she was bragging. It could be at the time of this story, it wasn't yet set, or in her mind, it wasn't like set in stone that you have to have Shiva Nakim every time she sees. And she was bragging to Rav Onan or to Leonovi, and she said, "What are you talking about? Ich bin a große Yiddish Shamayim." Then let me read it again. Kol ois nayom shirisa bem dam yeshavti Shiva Nakim. I was a big machmir. I was a big Yiddish Shamayim. I waited 7 clean days. Shelo yovel day suffolk. I shouldn't come to any suffolk. Amarti lo Rabbanon, or again Leonov, he said to her, "Biti Yofa Amar Loch Balach." Yeah, your husband gave you good instruction, but don't brag that you are Yiddish Shamayim. Shekena no chachamim. Chazal already accepted this to be a rule. Bezovin, bezovas, beniddas, beyoldis, everyone doesn't matter. Shalach shiva in torim, shenever in torim ezova vesofra l'shivas yamim. Even though betorim ezova, but not by niddah. But Chazal said it for everything. V'achatita. Aval, he said, "Tell me something." But Oisanayomim, Lavonim, in the white days, in the Shiva Nakim, Mao Etzlach, how did he treat you? Did he do the Harchokis or not? Shema Eveselis Asakin Shabiyotcha Venogaboy Afila Be'ed Baktana. Did you ever give him a knife or a fork or a spoon and accidentally touched him? Omra Loi Rebbe Chayer Roishcha. I give a shvua. Rachatzti lo yasaraglov, I washed his feet. Vesachti lo yasashemen.
How she did it if you're not allowed to touch him?
Yashanti inni imoy bemito achas, and I slept with him in one bed. Ani bebigdi v'hu bebigdov. I slept in my begodim and he in him. Avalo yisir daite l'dover acher. But I can tell you for sure he never was masir das to think that he's going to sleep with me. Amarti lo. So Rav Onan said to her, Baruch hamokum shahorgoi. Blessed is the Eibishter that killed him. Shein lefonim maseponim. There's no maseponim to the Eibishter. Sheshen ksiv b'toyre. Vel isha b'nidas to masa loy tikra. You shouldn't get close to isha with your time of niddah. That's the dinam of Archokis. Obviously, this is not a deiraisa. Yeah. But this is the Rabbanon. Yochel yichakena. You would think that when a woman, after she had her cycle in the days of the Shiva Nakim, that he could hug her, he could kiss her. He's not going to kiss her, he's not going to hug her, but he'll talk to her divrei tiflus. What divrei tiflus? Things that have to do with the yachas of Adam and Baila, teasing each other, v'chulu, like they would if she was not a niddah. Talmud lo lo tikra. He's not allowed to. Yochel at least Yoshan ima begodel mita achas, that they're both going to wear pajamas or clothing and sleep in one bed. Talmud loimer loy tikra. Kedei shelo yomer adam la'atzim k'shibin edosa asura lebesora v'asura lemitasa. A person shouldn't say when she's a niddah, I understand, I'm not allowed to touch her flesh, I'm not allowed to sleep with her in the same bed. Pirsha min niddah. Now that she's not a niddah, shema toimer lebesora also lemitasa mutar, it's mutar to sleep with her in the same bed. Therefore, the Torah says, "Val eishes re'eloi es eishes re'eloi time, val isha niddah le'yikrev, isha niddah le'ishes ish, lis nizar alecha k'mei b'chol ha'mitzvah amur b'Torah." You have to be careful with your own wife when she's a niddah, like an eishes ish, just like an eishes ish. You wouldn't sleep with her in the same bed, even if you're both wearing begodim. The same thing, your own wife, you can't sleep with her in the same bed. And we learned about the Samoyed de Kesicha a few weeks ago, that the Eibusha says that the Yidden, when they do Avedas, the Eibusha punishes them. The Goyim, doesn't matter what they do. But the Yidden, and the Torah of Elio says, Elu Tamid Chachamim Metoch Bnei Yisrael. Oida Marti Los. That he continued. Biti. Okay, the Vaita, he tells her a lot of Divrei Musar, but time is short, and we don't have time for this. Okay. I just want to show you, there's the Torah of Elio is printed many editions.
But the question is, she stopped asking people after that, after she made.
After she heard the drosha, which goes
Yeah.
on for another 3 pages, I think
She stopped.
If you could refer, what was the story?
her husband died b'chatzi yomov, and she complained, why did he die? He was a big tzaddik. So he asked, did he ever touch you in the main Niddah? She said, Chaz v'sholom. In the Shiva Nakim, she said, yeah, they didn't have any Archokas in the Shiva Nakim. He didn't believe in this Gzeira de Rabbanon of Archokas. It's a real Gzeira de Rabbanon, really. But he didn't believe in this
This is
Gzeira.
even more than a Harchokis. They slept together in the same bed. He asked, did he even to give her a knife?
Right.
Not only that, give her a knife, we slept together.
Right. So all the
They slept together.
On the same bed with pajamas.
right.
With
I
clothes.
didn't give her, don't worry about a fork in my hand. We slept together.
Fine.
It's very
This Torah of
maybe
Elio,
sleeping together,
Right.
maybe being mamish, chibuk v'nishuk, maybe and sleeping in the same bed.
No,
It's much greater.
so actually she wasn't chilov in
it's interesting is
Just
that
the fact that they slept in the same
this is
bed.
a very important Torah of Elio, because all the halachas learn from here. Like some because some learn mamish from everything, because as you'll see soon, mamish from every word over here we learn halachas, every single word in the story. I just want to show you something. There's one of the Mephorish here called Tuvei Chaim. But it's like a nice thing he says. He says, "Lamadnu mezeh inyan kama dvorim." Last paragraph. Echad tzarich lazar moed lilmad din shulchan aruch tzarich mechalish leida la'atzma l'mayis. There is a ish kefei nira et hamad chacham b'Yerushalayim k'ma shenira medivrei Elio zal. V'gemara Shabbos afid gimel v'Rashi v'Toisas rak desova deshari b'hochi k'ma shekosov v'nena shal kach mashum neshigas talmud eila zodan. It sounds like he thought that it was mutter, and still he was punished. Those days there was no Shulchan Aruch, there was no Poskim. We have today a Shulchan Aruch and a Poskim. Okay, let's turn the page to the Gemara. The Gemara tells a similar story, but the kids said, and then we'll learn the Tosas, and then we'll dive into the halachas. The beginning of the.
Where do we see that he thought it was? Where? What's the ha'ara that he thought it was mutter? But he said it's only derabbanan. Where do we see that he thought it was mutter? Where's this ha'ara?
As far as long as the blood's flowing, it's us.
I understand, but the gezerah, it was a gezerah derabbanan. It says, Baruch Hashem, it happened to you. And the mashmois is because he didn't take the gezerah.
Yeah, okay,
derabbanan
I told
seriously.
you, I don't know, whoever wrote this, he didn't understand the pshat as I good. Okay, whatever.
yeah.
But what he said is right.
Or he heard it from a Rav, that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When M passes.
Okay, the Gemara says the same beginning of the story, Torah of Elio, a Talmud, that and she walked around every base medrash, and she said, "Kuchayecha v'rechemecha, what's going on?" Baile shimish tamid chacham mahameis v'chatzi yama. V'lo the ma'aseh dover, no one can answer. Pamachas neserachti etzla v'es masicha kol esamura marta lebitim b'meina dusach ma'etzlach. Amar li chaz v'sholem, he didn't touch me. Afilu v'edz b'ktana lo inogabi. V'mei li bunach in the shiva nakim ma'o etzlach. Did he do the archokas? She said, "Ochalimi, shoseimi, yoshanimi, bekiruv baser v'lo tzadai tel dover acher." I mean, there's variations between the Torah of Elio and here. Over here, he said that bekiruv baser he slept. Amarti lo baruch hamakam shahorgesh lenos upon him la Torah shaya Torah amra Torah velisha bedinus tomas lo tikrev kaser evdimi amra mita achas hava v'marova amri vitzchak by Yosef sinner mafsik bein olabeina, which is more like the story in Torah of Shmuel,
What's a sinner?
that there was clothing between them.
You know, anyway, it's the embryo.
Yeah.
Embryo.
Okay, good. Toises. Let's look at the Toises. Two Toises. So the Toises mainly bunei lemishum sheish chalak bein nidus lelibun. Now, from the Gemara, it's mashma kilu that there's a difference, that the archokis in the days of Niddah and Libun. No, faket. He made a mistake. He thought there was, but it's not true. The archokis are equal. The ha Amar Bakiva Perik Me Isha Yoitza Harei Hi Benidasa Shetova B'Mayim. Yeah, teheben idosa baviyose until she goes in the water. He knew that this was a story, and he wanted to fish out of her that they didn't keep the archokas. They only kept it in the days of nidus, not in the days of shiva nakim. Berach Rabbi Yochanan alash yipirishu perek afal pink subas daf samachalav gabi shmul machalfale the bisa biyada the smala. It says the three things a woman is not allowed to do for her husband because it shows a lot of affection. Mezigas hakois is one of them that you can't pour.
Make the lie in the bed.
So the Gemara says a few things that Bashina she could do it. So like with a left hand she could put down the kois of water in front of him with his left hand.
Place of water you're allowed to do with a right hand also, no?
We okay, it's not a kois of wine. We'll get to that. Whatever the kois.
Juice.
Okay, wine's sein. So Rashi says it makes a difference if it was bimei libun or bimei nidus. But the Tosfos says ain't nira kid pirashi. Most of the Shainim disagree with the Rashi. Verach pirish the Benatan pirish a whole funny pshat. The gilim litful state tefillas. In those days they used to tovel twice. Achas l'sev shiva l'riyasa. She told him the regular woman, as I said before, the average woman after 7 days is tahira. Unless she's a zova gedoyla. The regular woman is not a zova. What's a nidus? Nidus means it's a cycle. The woman, the water gets flushed out after a month. That's nidus. And nidus you don't need to have shiva nakim. If it's belois nidasa and the sea for 3 days, a zava gedoyla you need shiva nakim. But most women are not that way. So they had those days a minig that after 7 days from when she started seeing blood, she would toil. Mederaisa now she's toil. V'achas l'soif yimei libun, and at one she would do at the end of yimei libun. Could be they did it also because they used to keep taharas. So whatever the point, that's what they did. Or were they going to mikvah? Anyway, they're not going to sleep with their husbands, so it wasn't going to help. But the Benetom says that. Yeah, for whatever reason, tahara, another level of tahara there.
There's a time of the Gemara, right?
Yeah, lakachoye, they should do altaras hakodesh, right? Lakachoye mekel oiseish. Therefore, that person was mekel. Verashi weiter. Verashi noig iser loishet maftech miyod liyod b'mei nedusa. Rashi was machme. He wouldn't even take the key of his house and give it to his wife in her hand b'mei nidus. Tosfos thinks that it's extra chumra. Shulchan Aruch paskins that Rashi is right, that it's also to hand anything to your wife. He asked her, maybe you brought her the shemen and the pach. Mashmed that if she hands something to him, if something goes from her and his, and it's also so Tosfos it's not a food raya. Maybe he's saying that did inadvertently you touch each other through the handing. Okay, it's a little bit of a doichek Tosfos. I mean, Rashi L'chor is right because he said there's two ways of reading it. Either he said to her, "Did you ever hand a fork to your husband, and then you ended up touching?" So one way of saying is it's the chosser to hand because he might touch you, or it's mutter to hand. But did it happen that when it's mutter to hand that you ended up touching? If you learn it the other way, so then why would they be punished for that? It was inadvertently. If you say it's osur, you're not allowed to hand her the keys, you're not allowed to hand her an object. Maybe you'll touch. Now even you touch. But otherwise, so that's taka the halacha. We pass like Rashi, you're not allowed to hand anything. That they wouldn't, the cup of drink, they wouldn't put mamish in front of him. They put it in the here and this side, the right and the left. They put it any daya kishema. They put it on the chovis or put it in this not in front of him mamish. Any daya kishema dafke b'mezigas hakosh chibi yeseirik damar hasan. There's 3 things that a woman does for her husband that brings a lot of chiba. The Gemara over there says that if she has a lot of servants, she does nothing. She sits in a katadra all day. She watches TV. But katadra is TV, no? So she sits in the katadra. In other words, she sits on the couch and she relaxes. Chazal said 3 things she should do. And Rashi says it's not a chiv gomur, but Chazal said if the woman he's going to come home and hello, she's sitting in the katadra, she's sitting in the jacuzzi. So what kind of life is it? Chazal said greet your husband, bimatzias amita, pour him the kois, wash panav yad v'raglov. The mele, there'll be love between the kirva, between the chiba, between the husband and the wife. So they don't bring me a raya from there. Then, but Tosis says glatan andazach, or whatever, glatan andazach, or not glat, or whatever. I'm not going to go into Tilpulim. But Tosis says, from its mashma here that you're not allowed to eat together and drink together. Tosis says, no, maybe you're not allowed to sleep together. Elamai, she said, we ate together, we drank together, we slept together. But he said,
So
that's why he was
why.
killed. But other poets can argue on Tosis. They say, no, you're not allowed to eat together, you're not allowed to drink. Elamai, there's a machloikas, what does it mean not to eat together? Not to eat in the same plate, not to eat in the same table, not to drink in the same cup.
Not the same plate.
And these are the halachas that we're gonna, not the same plate, you had the same plate, not the same table, you had the same table. To drink if she drank a half a cup, you're allowed to drink the rest. V'chulu, v'chulu, v'chulu. And that's what we're gonna learn about soon. But Lepoil, Shulchan Aruch says l'chumra. Next Tosfos, mitachada have. It was one bed. Zog the Tosfos of Palti ben Layish. What's the story of Palti ben Layish? Sheno etzchere bein lebein.
Yeah.
So,
That's
what's the
Palti.
story of Palti ben Layish? So,
Daughter of.
Shaul said that the man that kills Goliath, I will make him very rich. He will also marry my daughter. After David kills Goliath, and the women are parading, they said, Hikke,
כשאול בא אליו.
Shaul, no, you're good.
ודוד באביבותיו,
This guy's
ודוד
amazing.
חי וקיים.
Very good. So all of a sudden, poison went into the heart of Shaul, and Vahi Oiven as David from that day to Kol Yom. Okay, so now he doesn't want to give him his daughter. Okay, but he can't not. So first he marries off that daughter very quickly to someone else. But then he wants to. So he says, okay, you know what? Marry Michal. But you're the poor kid. What are you going to be? What are you going to give her? You're going to give her a diamond ring. You have money, Bichlal. I'll tell you what I want for Siddur Kiddushin. I'll be Masada Kiddushin. You bring me a package of 100 orlas of plishtim. He figured while he's busy cutting off the orlas from the plishtim will cut off his head. 100 orlas. Basically, should kill 100 plishtim.
No problem.
And no problem. He brought 200. A package of 200. But he still didn't give. So he gave his daughter, but Sigavan, we could say, he tried to kill him. Constantly trying to kill him. And when David the Melech runs away, he takes his daughter and he says, "Okay, you're now married to Palti ben Layish." That's like 5 prakim later, and that's it. That's what this. So the Gemara has a whole discussion. Well, what do you mean he married Palti ben Layish? Was Shaul a nutcase? Shaul is a from a yid.
She's Eshet Ish.
She's B'chir Hashem. Shaul. She's Eish Ish. It's a whole discussion. The Gemara. Shaul had a whole omdus. He said, "Mekadesh b'milva ubeprute daite ala milva ve'ena mekudeshes." He said like this: how is she going to be your wife? Because he said, "I'm going to make him very rich. Whoever kills Goliath, I'll make him very rich." But now David said, "I don't want the money. I want to use that money as kiddushin." But that's a milva. That's a mekadesh b'milva. There was no money here. There was no money in David HaMelech's pocket. Shaul promised. It's cryptocurrency. Shaul promised, and he promised, and he said, and he promised. This is a milva, mekadesh b'milva, but there's no money right here. But David HaMelech said, but 1 second. But I brought you a package of orlas. And that's what I had in mind. So that was a machlokes. The other opinion is no. That even Shaul agreed to him that he had in mind the package of orlas. But Shaul said it's not Shava Pruta.
Oh.
If you take a package of 200 orlas of plishtim, what are you going to do with it? You go out here in Avenue J. Who wants 200 orlas of plishtim? How much could you fetch? How much money could you fetch for 200 orlas of plishtim? Now today,
barbecue?
huh?
To make barbecue?
Yeah, barbecue.
The only problem is that the Taisha says the Hana. He said it's so valuable to get 200. That means you kill 200 plishtim, and it says the Hana itself, based on what he said.
Anyway, the Gemara says that it was Shava Pruta. Why? Because David the Melech said, if a person has to buy food for his cats and dogs, it's cost a pekel, if you have a cat or dog, $5.99, $7.99, $8.99, a package for animal feed. It's a big business, a huge multi-million-dollar business. So if you get a guy a big pack, $200, it's a big package, right? So you tell him for animal feed, you could sell it at least for $1.99, right? $200 a plish.
This I know the Melech given.
So no, he said so. That was
actual
actual work.
So you're saying it's not the hana, it's the actual work.
It was.
It's actually worse.
If you go to Petco and you get a package, it's a very expensive animal feed. So at least you could sell it for $200. Orlis and plishtim you could sell for at least $1.99. So B'meila is Mekadesh his wife.
But there's a big chilik between the two.
Hey, we're not learning. We're learning Hilchos Niddah. I'm just giving an introduction here. So B'meila, that was the dispute. So the Gemara says that Palti Ben Layish never slept with her. They put the sword in the middle of the bed, and he said Chas v'Shalom that we're going to sleep together. So him and Michal never slept together. All the years that they lived together, they never slept together. So in the Tana of Elio compares Eishes Ish to Isha Niddah. You treat an Eishes Ish and Isha Niddah equally in the Harchokas. So Tosfos says you see that you could sleep in the same bed. You could sleep in the same bed if you're going to put a sword. Zesto Charaya. So Tosfos answers, there was a very, very big bed. It was a very big bed. And Mashenkin here wasn't such a big bed.
Size.
Okay, queen, that was a huge bed. Oi, Shemasavik Shol. Maybe he really held like Shol. Shalois Mukadeshes LeDavid. He wasn't Mukadeshes. He didn't think that it was a good idea to sell it like animal feed in Petco. The 100, 200 arlos of plishtim are not worth even 25 cents. Not worth anything.
Rabbi, did the
And machmir alatzma. So therefore, what's the nafkamina the two tirutzim and Tosfos? According to the first teretz of Tosfos, if you really have a very big bed, then and you make a separation, then there isn't the din of archoke. But obviously, you have to know how big the bed has to be. And number two, the second teretz of Tosfos doesn't hold of that. Only about Palti B'Mayish, because really Palti really believed that Shaul was right, that it wasn't Mekudesh, it's Halamai, wanted to be Machem because David the Melech thought otherwise. Well, Nafkamina to us is two shilas that came to me. Mamish, a guy is about Tshuva. About Tshuva, what's happened? He was all around. But then he came, Dafke was Niskarev, and not through Chabad at all. And later he came here to Flatbush. He couldn't believe it because they told now he has a Sheikhas Lubavitch, and he was like stunned that he got the Mishaberach. He got so he was anyway. Mm-hmm. He was dating a girl from Borough Park. So this has happened recently. He's dating a girl from Borough Park, and so it was already looking good. So they already had a couple of dates, and he's Baruch Hashem, he's a Ish Matzliach, he's a good businessman, and he's a Matzliach, and this woman. So the parents are really excited because she's a little bit, she's already getting older. She's already for many years. She's in her 30s and he's in his 40s, and everyone's very happy. So she says, if we're going to get married, who'll be Masad Kiddushin? So he says, probably one of the Lubavitch rabbis. I have a little shaykhs to this guy. So she says, no way, not a Lubavitch rabbi. I want a Hamish rabbi in Borough Park. I said, okay, why not? But he says, why not a Lubavitch rabbi? She says, a Lubavitch rabbi, he's going to get it, he's not going to be Messiah, he's going to want to know, are we keeping the halachas and this? I want a Hamish rabbi. So he says, which halachas? This guy is about Shuvah, he's fresh off the press. He doesn't know halachas. He knows, he knows beautiful shurim from Rav Tatz and from Rabbi Manas Friedman. But he doesn't know, the Sivkot and Yochanan. So she says, I like in a bed, the front people have two beds. We'll have one bed, and we'll put pillows in the middle on the days that we can't be together. We'll put pillows.
And she come from a farmhouse.
Come from house. And she understood. I want to tell you a shvach to Lubavitch. She understood that a Lubavitch rabbi is not going to be Masad the Kedushin before he asks a few questions.
Right.
She wanted a Ruvet Kim and Sagayin, Masad the Kedushin, Mitzachzem Bam Gitten.
They want to know who who taught you Dinei Tahara.
So
In
I don't know Lubavitch and Rabbanim today.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in her mind. That, so the guy broke the shidduch.
Because of that.
Yeah, he broke it. He came
You're not
back
going
to
into
ask.
a sick bed.
She don't learn.
You're not going into a sick bed.
Exactly, going to sick bed. A frum couple this came to my attention. Davke, he thinks he's a Talmud Chochem, and they have one bed. So I say to him, "You have one bed, but it's very big. It's a huge bed. The whole story is." You have children. Your children now they understand nothing. But what's going to happen the day your children understand?
They remember
What
your parents.
So now you're going to have to tell your kids. If you want to be not a Yiddish Shemayim and not follow Shulchan Aruch, but what I tell you not to follow. But some things you do have to follow. Where are you going to draw the line? Shulchan Aruch says that you're not allowed to be b'mita achas. So you can't be b'mita achas. The Rabbi Hella has a moedik avod. You have to have two beds. So he says, Ish v'isha, zochu shchina beinayim. If you take out the Yud and the Hey, is Eish, it's a fire. But if you had the Yud and the Hey, then the Shechina Zochu, Shechina Beinayim. So he said, when you have two beds, so you have to make sure to make a nice space that the Shechina should be able to be Beinayim. Okay, open the Sefer quick. The second Pedic. Third Pedic.
Ish is even the Yichud, the big wife.
Right, that's why the Toysis adds the thing about opening the door. But his own wife, when she's a Niddah, once he was a boiler already once, there is already, there's no, but before he's boiler once, then there is an issue.
Because so Palki Ben Laish, then there should be a...
The door open is not relevant.
Ah.
That's what I said, he left the door open.
Yeah.
But that's not relevant to us, the door open and closed, because Isha is not gay. Okay. Simon Dalet. Simon Gimel, Simon Gimel. We're going to do now first, we're starting with Chokas.
Oh, I need the sword.
Start with the Chokas. Mitzvah Shem today we'll just cover a little bit, and Mitzvah Shem next week we'll... Isha Shenitma is Bein Al Yedei is Adam, Bein Al Yedei Kesem. I'm reading from the Sefer as if it's a Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, but really they worked very hard on this, the Koil, the Chabad Koil many years ago. Rabbi Heller under Heirov from the Rebbe, and they made very big Kitzur. And it's a very nice Sefer, it's a classic. It's mamish a classic. There's all kinds of Sfarim that come out today. But it's like supposedly a kitzur, but really it's an arichas. But this is really a kitzur, the kitzur.
They have this in English.
They have it in English. The back. The back is English. Very nice. Very cool.
Calendar, the whole Chabad way.
Yeah. A woman that became tummy. Doesn't matter through dam or kesem. She had a regular cycle, or she had spotting, and it turns out that now she's a niddah. Years can go by. It doesn't matter. Asura labala. She's also to be with her husband. These are the din of Chokas. Number one, bebiya, not to have marital relations. Number two, benegia, they can't touch each other. Va'oid. A third thing, kama min Chokas. There's a whole bunch of Chokas that Rabbanan added to this. Ad shetifsik betara, v'tisper, v'titbel kadin, until she does the hefsek tada, which Mitzvah Shem will learn about. The whole process of hefsek tada, and have the shiva nikiyim, which we'll learn about, and bitoivel lo yigaba. Feel the baktana, you shouldn't touch her, even with the small finger. Feel begodim shala, even if she's wearing begodim. Feel even to blow some sand off her. This is from Piskadim Tzemach Tzedek. You shouldn't do this. It's not allowed to, if she has perfume, you shouldn't smell it. If she has besamim that are, she has a makeup table and she has besamim on the table, he shouldn't go over to smell it because it has a shaykhs to her. That she shouldn't put on extra makeup and extra thing. Versteht sich, she could put on. There's a story with Rabbi Kiva. Rabbi Kiva said that the women shouldn't be mahadim mitzvahs to put on extra makeup and extra cologne. Lo yistakel baba makemes shedarkelis mechusin. You shouldn't look at her goof in the place which is mechusa. Afilu bakeva, even the okka, which is the lowest part of the body. Ava makemes shedarkem li is gluyin. But every mokem which is a derech to be begolu, like her face, is mutter to look at it. He shouldn't spend that much time with her to end up looking at her a lot. And lishmoya, he should tell her those times he has to go to Shiur. Kidding. Lishmoya kol zemeshela also. To hear her singing is awesome. It's absolutely awesome. This is all part of the archakas. Lo yischik v'lo yokol roish ima. He shouldn't have schik and kalos roish. V'lo yidaber im advorma hamargilim le'erva. The conversation, like in a healthy, normal relationship, Chazal said that he shouldn't sound coming into bed, sleeping together. They should talk together in a way that he teases her, v'chulu, or whatever it is that they speak, the type of diburim that are shaykhs to sleeping to each other. And chas v'sholom not to speak that type of conversation in the days of Archoka. Lo yishoit miyad liyad. They shouldn't hand something one to the other. Afilu davar aruch. Afilu something very long. Afilu lizrik zela ze'aser. From Rashi we learn that Rashi didn't give the keys to his house to his wife in her hand. How about throwing it? So the poskim achrim say even that's also. Rak yanichu hachefetz al eze mokem. You should put down the chayfetz somewhere on a table, coffee table. And the other person will take it from there, but not to give it miyad liyad. That's also a chelak of darchoke. 1 second, lizra kape maila. If he's just not throwing it to her, he's just throwing it into the air, and she's going to catch it. Hamachmer bazeh tovoi olav broch. One more halacha, so we finish at the end of the page. They shouldn't hand over a baby. What's the sword by a baby is different. Because there are achronim that say chai noises atzmai. So l'chayr mele if you're handing over something which is like a key, but a baby l'chayr is a chai noises atzmai, still that you have to be machmer and not to hand over the baby.
Why should I make it? In this case, I understand Hilchos Shabbos, but I don't understand what the Havamina that a baby should be different.
He's not handing her. The baby's is as if he's going on his own.
But it's based on what makes the way you think. It's not a lacha thing. You're not a move thing. What happens if you have something? It's a shape of something, but it weighs nothing. It's made out of a feather, and it's this big.
Okay. So that's why taket's awesome. Awesome.
There are those that are make.
There are those that are make. Yeah. So it's important to know. It's important to know.
Like the credit card, you're allowed to give.
Like what?
Worst of it.
Okay.
Got reward for what he does.
Definitely. The Gemara says about Palti Balayish that he's bigger than Boaz, and Boaz is bigger than Yosef HaTzadik. And the reward of Yosef HaTzadik, unbelievable.
Yeah.
The Gemara says it because Yosef HaTzadik knew she's an Eishes Ish. Boaz slept with a woman, she was not an Eishes Ish, but he decided he's not going to sleep with her Chas v'Shalom Baveda, and only till they get married. And this was one night, but Palti Balayish, it was an opinion of himself and Shaul that she was mutter. But David the Malach said it's awesome. But still, night after night after night after night for years and years and years, that was very painful. Because that's what the Gemara says, that he was a moeder de Ketzadik. His tzidkis is like, you can't, ein l'shayah.
Did he have any kids? Did he marry somebody else?
I don't know.
They don't speak about it.
I don't know. The Eib shall help from the Mitzvah and the schus that we learning these halachas, the very choshev halachas, in the week of Shoivim Tat, even though the Chayre by Chabad didn't make a big thing of Shoivim Tat. Shoivim Tat are the weeks that a person focuses on this mitzvah of Kedusha and the Kedusha of the Bris. Chabad didn't make a very big deal out of it. However, the emes is because they didn't want to publicly make a big deal of it. But the emes, Chabad Chassidim, I know Zayda said that his father fasted every day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, in the weeks of Shmois ve'era boi v'shalach ishom v'shvatam trumat etzava.
Why do these parshas?
Because it has to do with doing tshuva for these for Zer Levatola, Shmiras Abris.
Why Dafka Shmois?
We'll talk about it next week.
What?
Next week, but I just want to be Messiah with a Dova Toiv. So my Zayda said the story, hundreds of times we story here from him, but this is Namish. My Zayda told the story like that his father, they came to Fabreng with him, and it was very bitter days in Russia. It was like the darkest years for Yidden in Russia. People were disappearing, they were being shot like this. And his father was very at home. He was like very vuradik. And his children knew that Chas v'Shalom, no one's allowed to know his private business. So no one's allowed to know that he was fasting. He didn't want anyone to know. But people came into Fabreng, a whole kfutza came into Fabreng, and they sat down. And they brought mashke with them, and they brought Fabaisen. But he's not taking because he's fasting. It wasn't at night. In Petersburg, it gets night in the summer, after Chatzos Alayla. So finally, one of them got fed up. He took a course of 96 and he just threw it straight at my Eltazed in his face. And I just said that his father went like this. And he said, "Fill up the course." And it was a real good Fabrengen. And he said he couldn't believe it. His father broke his fast just like this to have a Chassidish Fabrengen. So Taka, we see from this that Shevim Tat is very big, but doesn't come to Chassidish Fabrengen. They shall help from the schus of our learning Tak, the Shevim Tat. We should be mamshech all the things that we need to do with this.
Amen.
Who brought